Okay, hello, Facebook friends. I'm live here with Joni Bockenfeld, and we're going to give us just a couple minutes to get a couple folks on here. I'm going to take care of something here and tag Joni on Facebook if I can. So bear with us just one moment here. Let's see. Okay, Joni, I'm getting you tagged. Okay. So, hey everyone, this is Chris Wanya. I'm with Joni Bockenfeld, and she is one of the newest members of the Wolfpack at EXP. Excited to bring her on, introduce you, everyone, to Joni. And I know we all want to learn a little bit more about your real estate journey, where you've been, where you're going, and all that. So, first of all, welcome to the this call, and welcome to the Wolfpack. We're certainly
Thank
happy to have
you.
So Joni, tell us a little bit about your real estate journey. You know, how'd you get to where you are today? How long have you been doing
Okay.
it?
Well, first off, I was teaching. I taught for close to 30 years. And my last year of teaching, I knew I was going to end my career and retire as a teacher. I've always been interested in real estate. My husband had encouraged me to take some real estate classes. And so HGTV and all of that kind of spurred me on. It made it look like so glamorous. What a fun job, showing houses. And we all know that's not all what it is. But anyway, then COVID hit and teaching was over like that. And I took that opportunity to finish up my classes. I'd already started them. So I finished them up and started my career right in the middle of COVID in June of 2020. So, started out fast, started with one company and really couldn't get any help. I was assigned a mentor, but because of COVID, nobody was meeting, no one was talking. So I moved my license over to a small little boutique type brokerage where I could get some help and a little bit more one-on-one, and did well. I sold a couple of houses right off the bat. Didn't know how to write a contract, but could sell a house. So once I got all that figured out and walked through writing 9 or 10 offers before getting a house and getting lots of practice writing contracts and negotiating, and walking through all that for a couple of years, then I knew I needed a little bit more. I needed some technology. I needed to be able to grow where the market is going, which is virtual and tech and social media. And so I just needed help in those areas. And watching Chris, I knew Chris for a couple of years, and watching him just seems like the last couple of years just really change and be loving what he's doing. And so I asked him to stay for coffee one day and heard about EXP, and I thought, who knew? I didn't know anything about this. So went to a couple of lunch and learns, some masterminds, got on some calls, and just heard things I hadn't heard before. So super excited. The collaboration is amazing, and every day came out of a lunch and learn just so fired up and ready to get out and just do something new, do something different, grow my business. So that's where I am now. I'm with EXP.
Well, I love that. It's been it was just awesome. Just felt a great connection the first time we met, and I just love. First of all, you were incredibly successful even before EXP and everything. Your first couple of years, which is pretty unusual. But I love seeing the pep in your step, just the enthusiasm and the vigor since you've come on board. So that's been really exciting for me to watch in you and everything. So going back, you had a successful career as a teacher, pretty long career, and you've certainly gotten off to a much better than average start as an agent. What about your background, perhaps as a teacher? What kind of lessons or experiences or connections can you take away from that you think helped you get off to a fast start as an agent?
Well, I think it's all about relationship building. And as a teacher, you build relationships with children. You have to have a relationship with a child in order for them to trust you and for you just to know who they are and know how they learn. And I think real estate's the same way. Your buyers and sellers, you have to know who they are. You have to learn how they learn how what they want, and cater to that. So it's very individualized. And I always talk about it like being at your classroom door. Parents are dropping off kids, people are coming to your classroom door, and you're just chatting them up. You want to know how their day is. You love their child, and you want to take care of them, and you want to take care of their kids, and how can you help? And that's kind of how I feel like open houses. The first couple of houses I sold were at open houses, and that's how I felt about an open house, was just chatting up parents at the door and finding out what they like.
So you're different title on your job, but you're still building rapport and you're still educating people, right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, obviously I would guess that you've probably, had a few bumps in the road along, despite your success, that it wasn't all smooth sailing. If you could go back in time, and tell yourself one thing as a brand new agent, give the experienced Joni, the brand new Joni, some advice, what would you tell yourself to accelerate your learning curve?
Well, the first thing I would do is, if I could go back, I would make myself get a mentor, someone who could walk along. And again, I was promised a mentor, but because of COVID, I never once met my mentor. So I feel like virtual is great, and working virtually, but I needed a little bit more hands-on. I needed someone to sit next to me and walk through a contract. And that's what I eventually got with that. But number one, I would say get a mentor. And number two, get a great CRM and work and learn how to work your sphere, which I just didn't know what that was. I didn't know what that meant. And I wish somebody would have told me. So
you do now, right?
yeah. Once I started working my sphere, sales picked up. And it's about relationship, and you just need someone to kind of step in and give you the ins and outs. The classes that you take, they don't tell you any of those things. So
right. And right now you're a solo agent?
I am.
Okay.
So
do you have any, do you want to stay a solo agent? Do you aspire to become a team lead or a broker in the future? Where do you see your career going?
Well, I had thought about eventually becoming a broker, but with EXP, I don't feel like I need to do that now. I don't feel like I feel like I can be successful, and with the stock and revenue share and all that, I don't feel like I have to become a broker. So I don't know that that's the way I'm going to go now. I would love to.
Unless you just enjoy liabilities and
Right.
and overhead and
Exactly. I don't need that at this point. So I don't know about a team. I would like to be a mentor. I feel like I can help people on board and help getting people started in the right direction. So I feel like I can do that. That's probably educating is probably more where I'd like to go.
Yeah. Well, what's been the most difficult part of being a solo agent so far?
The solo part, being alone all the time. Like I am used to getting up and going to work and seeing people every day. And so being a solo agent, that's what has been the hardest for me, just being home all day or working from home and, not being around people. So that would be the other thing. Just get into networking right away, which again, I didn't even know what that was. People weren't networking when I started. So, but that's the hardest part for me, is kind of being by yourself. I love to bounce ideas off of people. And that's what was so fascinating to me about going to a lunch and learn. You got a room of 15 people who are just all jumping in and sharing and collaborating and just sharing their stuff and not being so competitive that you can't share. So I hate being alone.
I heard that we're just virtual and that we all just work from home by ourselves.
Right. Exactly. And it doesn't have to be that way.
Yes, we love having you part of our real life community. So
Yes.
absolutely. Well, you know, prior to coming on board, was there any point you felt stuck in your business where things weren't going as well as they could have or you would have liked them to?
Yes. So last summer, when the market started to slow down, it just kind of came to a stop for me. And I took a weekend to pray about it and talk to God and kind of plan my business. Uh, and that's when I decided to reach out to you and to a couple other people that I knew who were, who seemed to be loving what they were doing and loving their business. I knew I had to change routes or I was going to give up. And it wasn't that I wasn't successful. It was that I wasn't enjoying what I was doing anymore because I needed something more. I didn't know what it was. So I had to pray about it and talk to people. And once I talked to you and a couple other people, I was like, I know what I need now. I need other people who are producing with me.
Yeah, well, that's one of our mottos is making real estate fun again. Life is too short not to really enjoy what you're doing and everything. And I personally think if you don't enjoy real estate and you can't figure out a way to enjoy it, then you might want to figure out something else to do.
Right.
Because I feel incredibly blessed to have stumbled upon real estate. I'm not sure exactly how it happened, but I sometimes just pinch myself that I get paid to do this.
Right. Yeah, when you get paid and it's fun and you're hanging out with people, you're going to networking events, you're collaborating, you're just enjoying other agents and sharing and teaching each other. That's what makes it fun.
Great. So, what kind of coaching and training are you receiving since coming on board? What are the key things that have changed so far?
Well, there's so much training that I'm a little overwhelmed with the training right now. And you keep telling me I don't have to boil the whole ocean at one time, right? So I'm trying to figure out what the most important trainings are. And there's just a lot. There's a lot of training. I'm considering getting coaching. I know you do that. I've heard several people do that. I think that it's would probably be beneficial. So I'm looking at that. Like I said, there's so much training. You could never run out of training with EXP. And one thing that I find is so, I don't know if it's unusual. I just haven't seen it before. Is the trainers and the top producing agents and the team leaders, they're all so easy to respond. If you reach out to them, you think, well, they're not gonna, they're welcoming you on Facebook, and you text them and they text you back, and they email you back. So that's really inspiring to me too.
Yeah, I think that just the fact that we all have shared ownership creates a different culture. Rising tide raises all ships, and so that's one thing. I think a lot of people hear that, but you have to experience it to really understand it and absorb it.
Right. Yeah.
Well, what are your key initiatives? That you're working on to grow your business right now. What would you say the top few things you're doing to boost your trajectory in 2023?
Well, I'm learning KV Core, which we get with our business. And that is, there's just so much to learn with that, with landing pages and squeeze pages and different campaigns to work. So I'm learning that. The other thing is social media. I plan to learn how to use social media to make connections in my business. So that's the way I'm going right now. So
Okay, awesome. I think you're going to have a great year based on all the activity and work and progress I see. Just applying a lot of great energy towards growing your business and everything. I love it.
thank you. I'm just excited. I wake up ready to go. So
That's awesome. Hey, if anybody is watching this wants to reach out to you to ask you any questions or learn any more about you, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
always the best way is to call or text. So I don't know if you want me to say my number, or are you going to include this,
Just
or
any way you would feel comfortable with anybody reaching out to you, whether it be social media, call, text, whatever you're comfortable with.
yeah, calling and texting is the fastest way to get a hold of me. I'm not on social media all day, so I might not see you for a few hours if you DM me. So my number is 817-797-2017. If you have any questions or you're interested in EXP or anything Chris and I talked about today.
Okay, great. Well, Joni, thanks for coming on to chat for a little bit. As it's always great talking with you, and hope some folks watching today learned a few things about you and your business, and just look forward to a prosperous 2023 and beyond.
Thank you, Chris. I'm super excited. Thanks for all you do. Actually,
Oh,
Chris is actually the one who answers this phone call every day when I need help.
Are you saying I cracked the whip on you or something?
No, I'm just saying you always answer your phone. So
Okay.
you're always encouraging. So that's
Well,
great.
thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, we'll talk again soon, and have a great rest of the afternoon.
Thanks,
Thanks
Chris.
for coming on. Okay.
Have a good
Bye.
day. Bye.
You too. Bye. Let's see here.